Welcome to Pharmacy Local Market Insights for Wales, in association with the NPA and powered by Real World Analytics. The objective of this report is to give you visibility of what is happening in your local area in relation to paid NHS item growth, pharmacy and practice participation, and to monitor trends in paid services. You can use this report to get ahead of your local competition and identify areas in which you can grow your business. Page 1. How am I doing compared to my local competition? Firstly, on the map, you have visibility of the positioning of the top 10 pharmacies in your local area. Your pharmacy is indicated by the orange circle, and your competition is indicated in blue. The size of the circles is relative to the volume of the paid rolling year items. The next view indicates the growth in all the pharmacies for the latest month, the latest 3 months, and the latest 6 months. Each of these timeframes is compared to the same time last year to indicate the growth percentage. The orange reflects my pharmacy. First, identify how your pharmacy ranks in relation to your competition. The pharmacies are ranked descending by the volume of the rolling year items. Compare the growth of your pharmacy against the average, indicated in the grand total row, to see if you are performing above or below the average for your local area. Then review the other pharmacies to see how your highest ranking competition is doing. Following this, you can then see the trend of performance across the last 12 months in all the local pharmacies. We are again indicated in orange. Page 2. Where are my items coming from? On the map, we can see our pharmacy's top prescribing practices. The number of each circle reflects the rank of that practice relative to our paid dispensed items within the pharmacy. The next view shows us the practices above ranked descending on the rolling year items. We can see the percentage of our items that comes from each of these practices. Here we can also see the growth of each of these practices for the latest 3 months and the latest 6 months versus the same time periods last year. Next, we look to see how each of these practices are performing independently. By comparing the two views, we can see if a practice may be growing their items over the same time periods, but our percentage is not growing at the same rate or even at all. We can also see what percentage of their dispensed items is coming to us. Page 3. Who is dispensing the local GP items? We should be asking ourselves from the previous two views, if a practice is growing and we are not growing with them, where is their item growth going to? By reviewing this view, we can see the participation of all the local pharmacies within each of my top 10 practices. Am I losing considerable items to my neighbour? And is there something I can do about it? In this example, we can see from the previous view that our top practice prescribes 20% of our overall items and is seeing growth over the last 3 to 6 months, but that our item participation within that practice is falling. Now we can see where that growth is going and which of our competitors appears to be growing their items at our loss within this practice. Page 4. Services. On this view, we can see our annual claims for services by each pharmacy in our local area. We can see our volume of paid MURs year to date from April and the volume of MURs paid for the full previous year. Am I completing my share of MURs? We also see the volume of other services done in my pharmacy across the rolling 12 months. Compare this to the average in the grand total row to see if I am above or below the average. Then compare to the rest of my local competition to see if they are managing more services than my pharmacy. Review the trend of each service in my pharmacy across the rolling 12 months compared to the previous 12 months. Am I doing better than last year, or do I need to focus more on my services? If you have any further queries or questions, or think you would benefit from individual business coaching, please contact your country representation manager listed on the title page of your report.